Minash-Shaytanir-Rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the 75th India Independence Day. We welcome you all, the IAMC committee. I'll introduce to you the Michigan chapter. So if the committee guys can come up front or raise their hands. Starting off with Shakil Muhammad. Noor Muhammad. Azam Muhammad. Muhammad Bahadur. Khaid Safi. Asim Khan. Fauzi Raziuddin. And last, Riaz Muhammad. Okay, guys, welcome all. The idea behind this was to take the IAMC Michigan chapter extended family, celebrate our 75th Independence Day. So again, thanks a lot. Welcome all. Seeing the attendance and your participation, I think especially for the working committee on the IAMC, it gives us a big shot in our arm, a confidence booster that there are a lot of people out over there who definitely are standing up, caring for and advocating for the Indian Muslim community out there. So big round of applause to you guys. So thanks a lot for coming. As a part of the celebration, we'll have like a short program right now. I'll walk through the agenda. I'll call the speakers as they come up. And after that, barbecue lunch you already have done, and then we'll have some sports activities. There are two. Okay, you can eat again. Yeah, sure. And then there are sports activities. There are 2 cups, so we will have there are 2 teams out over here which are going to compete in the cricket match and the volleyball match also, I guess. So, okay, inshallah. Okay. So let me start off. I'll just introduce IAMC again. Do anybody know the full form of IAMC?
Yes, I can read here.
Okay. IAMC is again, it's a non-profit organization, 50C chapter. Started back when the massacre of Indian Muslims happened in Gujarat and the complacency of the Gujarat government. Based on that, a few brothers from our cities around the USA started the Indian Muslim Council. Later it became Indian American Muslim Council, so that is where it started. Now, again, it's a non-profit organization. We don't support any political parties or any political candidates. It is basically an advocacy group. The core work of IAMC is advocating and educating the people of influence. What do I mean by that? What are the people of influence? It's the US government, the US Congress. So last in 2020, during the Biden campaign, IAMC was dealing with a lot of people with the Biden campaign. I'll read through some of the names of what IAMC had gone back and done that. Brief officials in the Biden campaign, Anthony Blinken, now the Secretary of State. Brian McCain, he's the Deputy Secretary of State. And through the various cities, now we have, alhamdulillah, around 25 cities which has the chapters in IAMC. They have gone back and reached out to quite a few US congressmen also, right? Some of those names, what you can see is Pamela Jayapal, Ilham Umar, Rashida Taleb, Laura Underwood, Jan Shimansky, Ro Khanna, Andy Levin, Bill Foster. So these are all the US congressmen that IAMC has been worked out and advocated the Indian Muslim cause. Along with that, we have also reached out to Senators Cory Booker, Bob Mendes, Ed Markey, and Tammy Baldwin. So that is where we are advocating to the people of influence. Now, apart from that, the second part of also is we go back and talk to organizations who are also supporting restoring human rights, religious freedom activities. So some of the organizations that we go back and IAMC supports is United States Commission for International and Religious Freedom. So as you know, for 2 years in a row, 2020 and 2021, URC has recommended to the US government to declare India as a country of particular concern. Based on all the things that are going on with the minorities of India, that is where we have gone back. And IAMC has worked. I mean, it was not an easy task. We had to hold a lot of briefings, webinars to the IAMC, to the URC officials. Based on that, we have gone back and able to go back and convince them to designate India as a country of particular concern. So apart from that, IAMC has expanded its allies. We work with Hindus for Human Rights, International Christian Concerns, India Civil International Watch, Federation for Indian Christian Organization of North America, Student Against Hindutva Ideology, Dalit Solidarity Forum of USA, care, and Jewish voice of peace. So a lot of work has to be done. As you know, there is a lot of lobbying also going on by organizations, the Hindu American Foundation, Hindu Pact. So that is also what IMC has to counter by advocating out to the US Congress and senators out there. So that is what a lot of work has to be done. So all your support, your donations, your time definitely helps us progress this cause forward. So based on that, I think we'll start off with the agenda now. What I will do is that we have a Quran recitation by Fadil Muhammad and translation by Tanzil Muhammad.
Here.
Okay,
Fadil,
let's come on.
you can stand here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلهوا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله والكتاب الذي نزل على رسوله والكتاب الذي أنزل من قبل ومن يكفر بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر فقد ضل ضلالا بعيدا صدق الله العظيم
تكبير تكبير تكبير
Very nice.
السلام عليكم
Fadil, come left.
Surah An-Nisa Ayah 135 Ayah 136 Translation Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or parents and relatives, whether one is rich or poor. Allah is more worthy of both. So follow not personal inclination, lest you not be just. And if you distort your testimony or refuse to give it, then indeed Allah is ever with what you do, acquainted. O you who have believed, believe in Allah and His Messenger, and the book that He sent down upon His Messenger, and the scripture which He sent down before. And whoever disbelieves in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, and the last day has certainly gone far astray. Jazakallah khair.
Here.
Inshallah. The next one what we'll do is that we'll start off with the Indian national anthem. So the decorum of the national anthem, if you guys would like to stand up, I'll invite Brother Yusuf to come back and sing the Indian national anthem.
Ghazi.
Assalamu alaikum. Let us all stand. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Are you ready? Please, thank you very much. Let's all sing together, okay? जन गण मन अधिनायक जय है भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल कलसितरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाए जय जय गाता जन गण मंगल गायक जय है भारत भाग्य विधाता जय है जय है जय है जय 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 है
That still gives goosebumps. Next program. So next one, I would invite the kids to sing the U.S. national anthem. So if you guys can come up to the stage, please.
Okay. Boys, you
गर्ल्स का है खुदा all ABCDs.
Kids, come on. Kids. U.S. national anthem, guys, kids. I might have to pull guys now.
Getting some girls. आ रहे नहीं यार गर्ल्स आ रहे
ये दोनों को भी मिला के आप होल्ड करो माइक
Kids, come on.
गर्ल्स आ रहे बच्चे आ रहे हैं आ जा
Yeah, we know it. Why is it
मेरे हड्डियां चिपते होंगे
whoever knows it
I mean you're singing too
come in the center
Guys, U.S. national anthem, you can start.
you keep the cups on let's go you need to stand up
Everyone, please rise for the national anthem. Of course. The Star Spangled Banner.
everybody please rise Amina, everybody. Come on.
By the dawn's early light, once so proudly we hailed, at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we won, were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare. Come on!
banner of the free and the
Hello. It's so lazy. Stop. It's so lazy.
तो अरे कपड़ा तोड़ देंगे
जैसे ये होगा प्रोग्राम क्रिकेट बिठा दो मियां नहीं पहले क्रिकेट
Okay, guys, the next agenda item is again Yusuf Bhai singing a patriotic song. So, Yusuf Bhai.
थैंक यू
बिठा दो
IAMC का मैं हार्दिक अभिनंदन आभार प्रकट करता हूं जो मुझे चुना है। ये मैं सब देख रहा हूँ, इतना अच्छा खाना वाना सब जमा किया है और थैंक यू वेरी मच। मगर इसका रीज़न जो है हमारे पास बॉलीवुड में पहले बोल चुके थे कि माँ जो हमारा होता है वो जान से प्यारा होता है। मेहमां जो हमारा होता है वो जान से प्यारा होता है। ज़्यादा की नहीं लालच हमको थोड़े में गुजारा होता है, थोड़े में गुजारा होता है। बच्चों के लिए जो धरती माँ सदियों से सभी कुछ सहती है। हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। होठों पे सच्चाई रहती है, जहाँ दिल में सफाई रहती है। हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। कुछ लोग जो ज्यादा जानते हैं इंसान को कम पहचानते हैं। कुछ लोग जो ज्यादा जानते हैं इंसान को कम पहचानते हैं। ज्यादा ये पूरब है, पूरब वाले हर जान की कीमत जानते हैं, हर जान की कीमत जानते हैं। मिलजुल के रहो और प्यार करो, एक चीज यही तो रहती है। हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। होठों पे सच्चाई रहती है, जहाँ दिल में सफाई रहती है। हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। जो जिससे मिला सीखा हमने, गैरों को भी अपनाया हमने। जो जिससे मिला सीखा हमने, गैरों को भी अपनाया हमने। मतलब के लिए अंधे होकर रोटी को नहीं पूजा हमने, रोटी को नहीं पूजा हमने। अब हम तो क्या सारी दुनिया से कहती है क्या, हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। होठों पे सच्चाई रहती है, जहाँ दिल में सफाई रहती है। हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। लॉन्ग लिव इंडिया।
क्या बात है यूसुफ भाई। Best song. For the occasion.
Okay, next on the agenda is we will cut the cake. I'll ask Asim Khan to come on stage here to cut the cake. He's he's the board member of IAMC National. So please, guys, if you want to come back, come around here, gather around the cake. Right, the white one? Okay. Okay. At least chapter guys, come on.
Chapter वाले.
Chapter guys.
आजम.
Ozzy, Azam, no. Hyde boy. Guys, come on, guys, come on.
अरे फ्लायर पे नाम है.
Hyde boy. Hyde boy, come on.
अरे टी-शर्ट नहीं है.
नहीं शकील भाई आप काटो
सब मिलके काटो. Happy Independence Day, डाइट वाला पीस कट करे आप.
फौजी भाई ऋषि भाई थे और एक
या
Okay guys, next agenda item, this is something which I'm looking forward to. Typically, community progress is known by how the youth are getting developed. So the next speaker is a youth speaker. I'm very excited to call Uzair Bandagi. Uzair Bandagi is a college senior at Michigan State, studying international relation and Arabic. He's been involved with several political organizations and campaigns such as Abdul Al-Sayed, Abraham Aish and Bernie Sanders, as he's been involved in MSU student organization also. So typically for us, most of the immigrants over here, we have a biased view of how we look at India from inside out, especially the youth who is born and brought up over here. We want to hear their thoughts of how they look at India from outside in. So Uzair, take over the mic and...
Yes, 1 second. Guys, please, out of respect to these young leaders, please, let's pay attention for 5-10 minutes to them. Both Uzair and the next speaker.
Thank you. Assalamu
Everybody, please come
alaikum.
back. Walaikum assalam.
I'm not going to sing, unfortunately. I don't know how to do that. But I promise I'll keep this short. Basically today, Fauzi Uncle asked me to talk about how our activism in the U.S. can help out India, and specifically how to reach the youth here. And so really the main thing I want to say is that, first of all, what this organization has done and set up is already some great infrastructure. And it's so close to being able to, accommodate the youth and really get them engaged. Because what the youth really want is they want fun, engaging events like this that bring them in, but also they have fun elements and as well have food and also have informational elements to it. And so in order to reach the youth like myself, I think one disconnect that we have right now is where our different generations get their information from. So I know that your generation that set this up, that you guys use WhatsApp a lot for communication, and that's great. Unfortunately, my generation is a bit, we don't use WhatsApp as much, and in order to get to us, you'd have to come to other avenues that are just as easy to figure out, but like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. So really what it's all about is just bringing people together and meeting them where they're already at, rather than trying to get them to make any sort of drastic changes to get them interested. Because the thing that I've noticed from my experience in youth activism in the US is that I would say that my generation and millennials are very empathetic people, and that when they find out about atrocities happening in India, Yemen, Palestine, China, wherever it may be, they want to jump at it. They want to know where can they donate, where can they, whose voices can they amplify, who can they help out, what can they do right now to help. And so what it really just comes down to is bringing people together and having very open dialogue about what the situation is and what's going on. Because something that I've noticed is that my generation, the longer we've been in America, I guess we've started to get more and more disconnected from our roots that our parents had. So the one advice I would give to both children and parents is just to get together and talk about India, talk about your experiences there. Ask your parents about what it was like growing up. Ask them how different it was. Ask them about culture. You know, there's more to culture than just eating biryani, but there's so many things we can do together to realize that we have such a beautiful history and that we need to preserve that history. Because right now what we're seeing in India truly is really scary. It reminds me a lot of the things that I've read about that happened during World War II, Nazi Germany, during things that have happened in Palestine, things that have happened in Brazil. There's a lot that we can do, but in order to do it, we have to reach people who are normally not engaged, because the only way you can really make change in this political system is when you're so loud, when you're making so much noise that the people in power no longer have any choice but to listen to you, but to hear out your demands, because you're truly shaking the table, because you're in their face about it. So that's really all I have to say today, that, you know, we already have a good infrastructure here, and all that it really comes down to now is just the adults connecting with the youth being curious about the adults and wanting to know what they can do more, because it really will take a large effort in order for us to combat the things going on in India, such as the CAA, such as the NRC. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you, and yeah, hope everyone enjoys the rest of this today.
Thanks a lot, Azir. Thank you.
Okay, our next youth speaker is Arham Mahmood. He's a student at University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and also doing medicine at the Wayne State Schools, future physician. So please come on and share some of your thoughts to us.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Arham Mahmood, and I'm a first-generation Indian American Muslim. I was born and raised here in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and from this community right here. And first, I'd like to thank everybody who put this together. It's a really good organization. We have some great volunteers, some uncles who are very encouraging. And I want to thank you guys all for giving me the opportunity to come here, especially Asma Al-Faz uncle directly texted me. So what is the IAMC? The Indian American Muslim Council is an advocacy group for Muslim Indians in America. It's the largest group we have. It's in DC. And it's a way for us, through the system, to institutionally show our point of view to America. We're here, we have a great community, and we're only getting bigger, and we're growing, and we're here to stay. And it's important that our voices are heard on a domestic level as well as foreign policy. The first time I heard about the IAMC was when I was a really little kid. It was at Tawhid Center in Farmington Hills, back when it was a little house. And after Jummah prayer, they were getting signatures to block the entry of Narendra Modi, who was then Chief Minister of Gujarat, from entering the United States after the Gujarat massacres that occurred in 2002. So that was the first time I had heard of this organization, and they were successful in what they did, because Narendra Modi was not allowed, and it did send a strong message on how we felt about that issue. Fast forward many years, you see Muslims in the news, you see in both America and in India, and how they're portrayed, and all the difficulties they go through being a minority, a severe minority. And we're thinking, how can we help? What can we do? And luckily, with the reemergence of the IAMC through the work that the dedicated volunteers here have done, we have that opportunity again. And I applaud them for taking this initiative. The uncles that are here, it's something from coming abroad, becoming American, and showing that you still care about the people back home. and the brothers, and the grandpas, and the chote bache. Everybody. And I do think that it's important that they care about this because this is our farce. This is our duty. You know, there's a lot of problems going on in the world, and everybody needs our help. And I'm not going to pit problems against each other, but Arabs are doing a lot for Arab countries. Pakistanis are doing a lot for Pakistan. So who is going to do it for our people if we don't? Apne logon ke liye nahi kare to kaun karenge, right? And it makes sense. I mean, if you want to feed your own family, you're not going to call your neighbor Bill and tell him, hey, we really want some biryani and mirchi ka salan today at 7 o'clock. Can you please drop it off? You're going to go and you're going to do it yourself and you're going to get it done. So same way, we need to care for our own people. And when we think about that we're here, we're in America, we're so far distant from the small place in Hyderabad, from Mehdipatnam, from Banjara Hills, wherever you guys are from. But those people are us. There are people who are probably smarter, are probably more intelligent, more hardworking, but how the dominoes fell, we had the opportunity to come over here, get an education, and really reap the benefits of having a Muslim lifestyle with Indian culture and food and American freedoms. So we're here, and those could have been kids like me and our community members and uncles and aunties and bache and dadis and dadas and everybody who's there. So those are us. And now it's just a question of, are we going to use what we have here to be a part of something bigger and make a change? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do good for these people no matter what. He's going to take care of them. But are we going to take this opportunity to be a part of that plan? Because he's going to make us a means, a zaria, to provide this aid. And it's just depending if we are willing to stand up and use our opportunities and the resources that we have. So now I've already established that we should be caring about these people. And if you have not, then you can talk to Asimak and he will convince you why you should care. But how can we go forward on this? How can we act on this now? So the IAMC has set up, they've basically done all the busy work for us so that it's easy for us to be involved. Now all we need from you guys is your support, your participation, your enthusiasm, and sometimes your money. And going forward, if we can hold on to this, make sure that we at least care enough to show up to things and just participate, just do your part and show that you consciously care about the Muslims in India and here and your brothers and sisters, then we can move forward successfully. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put barakat in our community here and back in Hyderabad and in India, all over the world, and to make it easy for us and guide us throughout our journey. Thank you very much for having me here. I look forward to seeing you guys all at more events, inshallah.
Thanks a lot, guys. Next speaker, I'm calling Khaid Bhai to say some share and some words of wisdom for us. So. Assalamu alaikum. I think you have heard me enough, so I'll be very, very short. I was also called by Fauzi uncle half an hour before to come and say something. So, but mashallah, these two young people did an amazing job. I think, mashallah, we should give them a round of applause again. What is the biggest news today? Can anybody tell what is the biggest news today?
Kabul? Yeah.
Taliban taking over Kabul. So I was reading this morning, and
Just 5 more minutes.
Farid Zakaria had a small segment on it, and he mentioned one of the authors who has written a book on Afghanistan, and he said, I've been scratching my head on how Taliban can take over Afghanistan. With America, who has spent $2 trillion in 20 years, and 150,000 troops, American plus NATO troops, plus 300,000 Afghan troops, and 75,000 Taliban taking over. I am, by the way, trust me, I'm not a supporter of Taliban by any means. But the people are scratching their head, what's going on? How is it possible that Taliban can take over?
And he interviewed a person and he said he came to one conclusion. He said, I met Taliban people. And if I can differentiate between all the other people and versus Taliban, these guys had a purpose, these guys had no purpose. American troops, Afghanistani troops, they're all working for money. Money is not a purpose. Purpose has to be different. If our purpose is exactly the same, khao, piyo, so, bache paida karo, and die, there is no purpose. And so he distilled down to just one thing, purpose. So I was just like thinking about that, and when I'm driving to get my peaches for the summer peaches, which are available only in Michigan in August, and I see a sign on somebody's lawn this morning, which says, "Fear not, God is in control." I think our problem is we are become so fearful of everything going on around us. And I don't think we need to fear because we are on the side of justice. We should not be fearful. We should be bold. And because of that, when Fauzi told me to recite something, I found a really bold poem which most of you might have heard, but may not have heard recently. So I'll read few of them for you. This is by Amir Aziz. You might have heard. How many people have not heard of Amir Aziz? Everybody has heard of Amir Aziz?
Yeah.
Okay, mashallah. So Amir Aziz has written a very powerful a poem which says, "Sab yaad rakha jayega, sab kuch yaad rakha jayega." So I'm just going to recite a few of them. It's a little long, but I'm going to cut it short. So he says, "Tum raat likho, hum chand likhenge. तुम जेल में डालो हम दीवार फांद लिखेंगे तुम FIR लिखो हम तैयार हैं लिखेंगे तुम हमें कत्ल कर दो हम बनकर भूत लिखेंगे तुम्हारे कत्ल के सारे सबूत लिखेंगे तुम अदालतों से बैठकर चुटकुले लिखो हम सड़कों दीवारों पे इंसाफ लिखेंगे बहरे भी सुन के इतनी ज़ोर से बोलेंगे अंधे भी पढ़ लें इतना इंसाफ लिखेंगे तुम काला कमल लिखो हम लाल गुलाब लिखेंगे तुम ज़मीन पे जुल्म लिख दो आसमान पे इनकलाब लिखेंगे। किस तरह से तुमने वतन को तोड़ने की साजिशें की ये भी याद रखा जाएगा कि किस जतन से हमने वतन को जोड़ने की ख्वाहिशें की ये भी याद रखा जाएगा सब याद रखा जाएगा जब कभी कभी जिक्र आएगा जहाँ में दौरे बुज़दिल का तुम्हारा काम याद रखा जाएगा जब जब कभी जिक्र आएगा जहाँ में तोरे ज़िंदगी का हमारा नाम याद रखा जाएगा कुछ लोग थे जिनके इरादे टूटे नहीं थे लोहे की हथौड़ियों से कि कुछ लोग थे जिनके ज़मीर बिके नहीं थे अज़ारदारियों की कोड़ियों से कि कुछ लोग थे जो डटे रहते थे तूफ़ान इन्नू के गुज़र जाने के बाद तक कि कुछ लोग थे जो ज़िंदा रहे थे अपनी मौत के ख़बर आने के बाद तक भले भूल जाएगा पलक आँखों को मूंदना भले भूल जाएगा ज़मीन अपनी धूरी पे घूमना हमारे कटे परों की परवाज़ को हमारे फटे गलों की आवाज़ को याद रखा जाएगा। और आखिरी में आमिर अजीज़ सेज़ तुम ज़मीन पे जुल्म लिख दो आसमान पे इनकलाब लिखा जाएगा सब याद रखा जाएगा सब कुछ याद रखा जाएगा ताकि तुम्हारे नाम पर ताउमर लानतें भेजी जा सकें ताकि तुम्हारे मुजस्समों पर कालिखें पोती जा सकें तुम्हारे नाम तुम्हारे मुजस्समों को आबाद रखा जाएगा सब याद रखा जाएगा सब कुछ याद रखा जाएगा।
Thank you, Khalid. The next agenda is the newsletter. So what we have done is that for the IAMC Michigan chapter, we are introducing a newsletter. And the newsletter to be passed around. The idea behind this is, Shakil, if you can do that, please. The idea behind is our plan is to go back and publish this at least quarterly at a minimum. Next year when the election season is there, probably we might publish a little bit more. The whole purpose is to educate the Michigan Muslim community of the events that are going on about IMCA. There will be articles around what's going on in India. We will highlight some of those issues also. And the other thing is also it's getting the community engaged also. So there will be like articles from the community leaders, from youth leaders. So I definitely encourage you guys to contact any of our Michigan volunteers to, if you need to send an article out, if you want to write an article, do contact us. We can put that on the newsletter. So do watch out for those. Most of the guys are in the IAMC WhatsApp group. We will also digitally publish this. This will be the first and last time. I know some of the youths over here are pretty environmental conscious. So going forward, this will more be an electronic rollout for this. So idea is every quarter, the newsletter will go out, do read it, do provide your feedback. And any of the articles, I mean, we will be reaching out to the community leaders to put any of their thoughts out, and also the youth guys. So do look out for those ones. Then we come to the close of the event. I'll invite Fauzi Raziuddin to do the closing comments. Fauzi bhai.
All right, of course. Salam alaikum. Getting older, so I can't see, of course.
Fauzi uncle, come on.
Fauzi uncle. All right, so basically, thank you speech is usually sometimes the most boring of all the speeches. You agree?
Yeah.
You guys agree? Okay, all right. So I'm going to make it a little interesting, but this is what I want from you guys. I request you all to sincerely acknowledge these wonderful people who worked hard behind the scenes to make this event successful. And I truly mean that. Well, first of all, your presence here today is a testament of your support to this cause. This is a huge morale booster for hundreds working as active volunteers. So, key people who quietly do so much for the organization: Shaquille, our chapter president, please give him a round of applause. Riaz, our MC today, and who does a lot more, who has championed a lot of things, especially including the newsletter campaign that he's doing. That's incredible. I especially want to thank Uzair Bandagi and Arham Mahmood. Thank you, our youth leaders. They came forward, so thank you. Thank you too, wherever Uzair is. There he is. So many others who support this cause, which the list here is not going to capture all or won't do justice. To name a few: Bahauddin, who's been with the organization forever. He doesn't look like that, but he is. I call him our intellectual guru. He's an intellectual asset for this organization, not just this one, but to Michigan as a whole. Thank you. And many more, including obviously Hafiz Saab himself. He's been a silent supporter of IAMC and advocacy. Muqsid, where's my friend Muqsid? Yes, Muqsid always has been a strong supporter behind the scenes. Nisar bhai, kahan bhai, Nisar bhai? Nisar bhai, thank you. What you say behind the scenes, thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, Mukhim bhai, as always, you give the support. That matters a lot, right? And last but not the least, my brother Ghazi, who always comes in jumping without any questions. So, for today's arrangements, there is one person. For today's arrangements, I want to make sure you guys pay attention to this. There is one person in specific, right? Apart from many others, right? That whom I once said, saath rahe to humko dam. Pay attention to this. Saath rahe to humko dam. Saath nahi rahe to kisi aur ko dam. So none other than our own Farooq bhai, incredible guy, works so hard behind the scenes, and I truly, sincerely mean it. This event, the way it is right now, there was no way we could have done it without his help. Of course, we have a lot of people who work behind the scenes, but Farooq bhai, thank you, sincerely. And sincere round of applause, obviously, to everyone, people who helped us out: Safi, Akbar, Hamed, everybody else. Ansari bhai, chai banane ke liye, thank you so much. And more than that, you run around the last second. You do so much for us. Yes, thank you all. Thank you, and let's go have some fun. You want to take? Yes, please. Yes.
Last but not least, your name, please.
Oh, of course not. I'm just.
Riaz bhai, do that. Yeah.
Yes. No, thank you.
Fauzi bhai has always been our guru over here for leading the IAMC always. So a big round of applause to Fauzi bhai. Okay, the next one, I mean, we'll wrap it up, but one of another key announcement, there's a cricket match. Okay? There's a cricket match. Seniors have challengers. There is cups out over here. There's a 15-over match. So please see Tanvir out over there. We'll distribute the teams and things like that, but the match is going to be conducted very seriously. Seniors have challengers, and then we'll be playing for these cups, so, okay? Chai and dessert will also be served also, guys, so.
Assalamu alaikum. For those who are here primarily for cricket, please go near the stumps and see Tanveer and Safi. They'll be arranging the teams, and it's going to be a very serious match. Be serious. We have decided that we are going to beat the crap out of these younger guys.